Hello, everybody. Welcome to another video in Reinaldo chess lesson. My name is Reinaldo Rodriguez. I am a candidate master from Venezuela. Today, we are going to be talking about how to crush the Philidor defense. We are going to see some generalities and a nice way to play against this popular defense. Okay, so let's start. The Philidor defense begins with this e45, knight f3, and now blacks protect the pawn on e5, pushing the pawn to d6. Okay, the main way to protect the pawn is developing the knight, but with the d6 pawn advance, okay, black is protecting the pawn with the less value pieces. The main downside of the move is that it's leaving the bishop inside the pawn chain, but is a very solid way to protect the pawn. Okay, so the move that we are going to suggest to fight against the Philidor defense will be d4, putting pressure in the central pawn and forcing black to take a decision about the central pawn. Black can defend the pawn, reinforcing the pawn, or trade in the center. Okay, really the best way, that is what we are going to see at the end, is trade pawns in the center of the board, and that is known as the change variant in the Philidor defense. That is the best way to play for black, but at the same time, we have to say that trading pawns in the center, black is going to leave white with a considerable advantage of space that is going to give to white a comfortable game. Okay, so the classical way to continue is defending the pawn with knight d7, and now white have this move bishop c4. The idea of this move is create a kind of free cleaver attack, okay, that we can see in some of the variants of the Italian game. There is some ideas to put pressure in the pawn on f7, and here usually black makes start making mistakes. Okay, with knight g f6, this move blocks this diagonal and allows white put pressure in the pawn on f7. White can go for that directly, but the trouble with that is that in case of knight g5, black can block the diagonal, losing a pawn but still on the game. So more accurate way to attack for white will be trading pawns first, and after the recapture, knight g5. And the difference here is that without the pawn on d6, black cannot push to close the diagonal, and this is a hopeless position for black, where it's going to lose in an inevitable way the pawn on f7. The other alternative for black in this moment will be recapture with the knight. But this variant is also good for white because white can simple trade knights, and after the capture, we have a tactical idea because the king is overloaded, defending the pawn and the queen. So these 2 points are under attack. White can sacrifice the bishop on f7, and after king takes, white can win the queen, but not completely because black have this intermediate move to try to recover the queen, but white can come back with the queen, locking the check, and after the capture with the knight allows white protect the pawn on e4, and this is a position with a healthy extra pawn, and white is very good in this position. So let's go back, okay, to the main position. So after bishop c4, so knight g f6 leads to a disaster for black. Some players, in order to avoid the free cleaver attacks idea, similar with the Italian game, likes to do bishop e7 to kick a eye over the g5 square. But in this case, white still have a very good game, trading pawns, king on e5, and now this open the d file for the queen to try to generate a battery over the pawn on f7. For example, if black recapture with the pawn after queen d5, there is no way for black to stop the checkmate threat on f7. The unique way to do that is losing material after knight a6, but here this bishop from c1 can just remove the defender to continue with the attack, winning decisive material advantage. So in this moment of the game, after pawn takes, the alternative way to recapture, in this case for black, will be with the knight. But after the trade of the knight, the recapture with the pawn, queen h5, create here a double attack. So you will see at the end of the video, in the description, you will see a link added that suggests the revision of a model game played by the Indian prodigy, Nihal Sarin, defeating another strong player and international master, okay, with this variant. So White wins the pawn and starting the technical phase of the game. So let's go back. So that would be in the case that black plays bishop e7. So probably the way to be able to continue playing this position in a safer way will be pushing the pawn to c6. This move have some ideas to block the diagonal in case of a free liberated ideas, but really the knight jump to g5 can be met with knight a6, protecting the pawn to f7. So really that will be premature. But in this position, the suggested variant for white will be keep calm and just continue development. And after bishop e7, trade the pawns on e5. So pawn takes. In case of the capture with the pawn, okay, now white can play here knight g5, creating the attack on f7. So here seems to be like the knight hanging, but in case of the capture on g5, white can play queen h5 with a double attack, attacking on f7 and attacking on g5. So white is going to win the bishop pair in this variant. Also, in the description is added a game played by the French Grandmaster top 10 in the world, Maxime Bachir-Lagré, playing this line with white. So possible continuation, maybe queen f6 to protect the checkmate on f7. Okay, but after the capture queen g6, the trade of the queens, this is a healthy position where white preserve the bishop pair, and the bishop on e3 will be eventually very powerful, controlling the board in both flanks, and the central pawn can be reinforced with f3. So it's a pretty safe position. Here, in this moment after knight g5, there is another alternative way for black to protect the pawn on f7, different than the capture on g5 that leads to lose the bishop pair for black. The alternative way will be jumping with the knight to a6, but this move actually allows a very nice tactical combination with this move, knight e6. The idea of the move is just deflect the pawn on f7 to take advantage of this diagonal, looking for fool's mate patterns. Okay, so after pawn takes, now bishop takes on a6 to deflect the g pawn, and after queen h5 check, the king has to go to f8 and bishop takes, and the checkmate on f7 is if black defend the checkmate with queen e8, now the white queen can simply capture on a6 with a checkmate. The name of this checkmate pattern is the Boden's main. So, not necessarily have to be with the two bishops, because in this case, the queen is doing the replacement for the dot square bishop. So those variants are pretty good, and represents a way to crush the Philidor defense if black play in a careless way. So the line that we are going to consider as the main line, and probably one of the unique ways to play this system with black, is just trading pawns on d4. After the capture of the pawn on d4, white can recapture with the knight with the less value pieces. And in this position, okay, at least black managed to resolve all the troubles in relation with the free liberated ideas, but white is going to have a central pawn with a clear advantage of space. So the game can continue in this way. Knight f6, knight c3, protecting the pawn on e4, bishop d7, continue the development. In this kind of position, the plans for black will be castle, move the rook to the e file to put pressure in the central pawn, also with the queenside knight as well. So the system that we are going to suggest for white involves move the bishop in the fianchetto location to have an alternative to reinforce the pawn with the bishop and also with the kingside rook. So white is going to have three defenders against three attackers. Let's see how to do that. G3, short castle, bishop b2. Also, the bishop in the fianchetto location is very well placed in case of the center is going to be open after some central pawn break. So rook e8, short castle. Sorry, rook e8, short castle. Bishop f8. So black start to put pressure here. Not a no yet. And after b3, we can see how white is looking for a second fianchetto location. Here, there is a lot of alternative. For example, to consider, white can consider the possibility to develop the bishop via f4 or e3, but in those locations, the bishop in some case can be chased by the knight. So the advantage about have the bishop in the fianchetto location is that it will be impossible for the opponent chase the bishop from that location. For that reason here, white is playing the second, the double fianchetto setup. Okay, so knight b d7, bishop b2, knight c5. Finally, black managed to accumulate 3 attackers over the pawn, but white is on time to play just rook e1, having 3 defenders. So in this position, the bishops in the fianchetto location give to white a more comfortable position in case of the center is going to be open, and also white have a strong output on d5 and a very nice advantage of space. Okay, so this will be the way to play, the suggested way to play for white in case that black play the optimal variant, that will be the exchange variant. In any other case, we saw all the lines where white crushed the defense in a very easy, simple way. So about this position, also there is a link added in the description of the video where you can see a model game played in the European champion in 2010. So, okay, guys, with this we finish for with the video of the opening about how to crush the Philidor defense. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe, share with your chess friends, and hope to see you soon in a new video. Bye.